Hey, this is Kimberly with CataLeads. I am the client success manager and the coach. I'm talking today with Andrew Bartlett, who is one of my favorite clients here with CataLeads. Andrew, why don't you tell us who you are, who you're with, where you're at, and all of that kind of good stuff.
Hey, Andrew Bartlett here out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is west of Philadelphia, about an hour and a half, more rural area. I'm with Keller Williams out of there, and I've been in business about 7 years.
Perfect, perfect. Now you have a team, Andrew, is that right?
Yes, I do have a team, three agents and then a office manager admin.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for jumping on a call with me today and kind of going over how your experience has been. I super appreciate your time. So I guess we'll just jump kind of right into some of the questions.
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
Perfect. So when you were out looking, like what made you decide to start looking for a source to start purchasing appointments for sellers?
So typically, most of the lead sources out there are buyer focused or have seller leads, but then put in buyers as well. And again, growing the team and stuff, we have a ton of buyer leads, but what we needed was more seller leads. So this is the only, I'm sure there's other, but the only source I found that is strictly seller leads and motivated sellers. So again, it's not just like a home valuation or something where people click and just want to know what their home's worth. This is like people that have raised their hand and said, yeah, I want to sell or would at least consider doing it.
Gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. And it's so important in this market now as the market's shifting a little bit. So you jumped on a little early. So uh,
Yep,
you're in a
exactly.
good position there.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. So out of the ones that you did look at, like what specifically made you choose CataLeads? Was it just because we only offered sellers? Was there anything else on there that struck you different when you just still in the process of deciding which one to go with?
I mean, the seller focus was a huge thing, but the fact that you guys have the ISAs calling is great, and that all the calls are recorded. So the good thing here is you can listen to it, get an idea of the client you're calling before you're actually calling them. So you can get a feel if they were nice on the phone, if they weren't nice, and kind of how to attack that lead when you're calling them. So that's been a huge part. I spoke with Hamza, the owner, directly before I signed up. Everything was real transparent, so that's why I ended up going with you guys.
Gotcha, gotcha. I appreciate that. Yeah, Hamza's amazing.
Yep.
Um, So, Andrew, let's jump right into it then. So, as I said, you're one of my favorite clients because you've always been so helpful and you also are transparent and authentic. And we appreciate that here at CataLeads. How's your experience been? How many listings have you gotten?
It's been great. So far, I've had three listings signed, but you get a lot of nurtures too, because again, these people are raising their hands and saying they are going to sell, but some people, again, they're selling in a year and they just want to know the price now, but they are going to sell, or they're waiting for the perfect time. And that's what I've just found. Like, I just signed one the other day that I actually got from a few months ago. So that's kind of how it works. Stay in touch, and should be signing another one next week that I had gotten previously too. It's just staying in contact with them, building the rapport, because most of the time they will end up selling. Again, you always have the ones that weren't as interested, and you put on different nurture plans, but a lot of them are going to sell within the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, at the end of the day, when you start closing all of those, I'm sure you'll be pretty happy and be grateful that you jumped in when you did and stuck with us. I appreciate that.
Yep, yeah, exactly. That's what I think with any lead source. It's a longer term game. You're going to get the quick hits, the guys that want to sell right away. But if you follow up again, most of these people are raising their hands because they do want to sell, so they will eventually sell.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you said, most people aren't ready to sell tomorrow, but they're in that process. So that's where we come in to help them. I love that.
Yep.
Andrew,
Yep.
how many calls or appointments do you think you've gotten out of the leads that we send you? What's your conversion as far as actually speaking to them, getting in touch with them, having conversations, getting in the door? Like, how has that been for you?
So yeah, I find it pretty easy to at least have the initial conversation because again, the ISA is setting the appointment, and if you just keep the appointment time that the ISA set, typically they will pick up. So I'd
Okay.
say again, you get more than 10 a month, but let's say you get 10, I get 10 a month. I'm probably talking to at least 8 of those, and then I'm probably setting an appointment with about 4 of those, and then I'm probably getting one maybe, and then when I'm at the appointment, yeah, maybe we're going to sell next 3 to 6 months, and the other one's probably going to be a yes, we're selling. So it's pretty
Nice.
good. Again, the yes isn't always right away, but again, typically you get a yes and a maybe out of your a month, I would say.
Okay. Oh, well, that's
My
fantastic.
experience. And again, I'm in a more rural market, so that's been my experience out here.
Gotcha, gotcha. And yeah, you're right. And that's a good disclaimer because every market is a little bit different and obviously people's lifestyles and everything. It's all contingent on that as well. So yeah, that sounds really good. So you've actually had some really good conversations and put a lot of
Mhm.
people in your seller pipeline for the future and building your book of business. So that's the name of the game, right? That's what we're
Yep,
trying to do. So I love
exactly.
that, and I love that you appreciate the ISAs, and it's important too that we remember too that they're double verified. That we do start out with the SMS campaign first, that they respond to and opt in before we even send them to our ISAs. So they're double verified that they have interest. So I think that makes a big part of the conversion rate as well, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And again, you know exactly what they have said to the seller before you're calling them. So it's not like some person going, "Who are you?" Like they're expecting a call from someone, they're expecting a call from a real estate agent, not like an investor or something like that. So again, if you follow the steps, it's a pretty easy process to follow, and you should get them on the phone.
Right, right. Perfect. So, Andrew, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I just, out of curiosity, how has your experience been overall with CataLeads in general, with from onboarding till now? How's your experience been with the company, the ISAs, customer success, all of it? And especially compared to other lead sources, do you see a difference or how
Yeah,
has your experience in
definitely.
general been?
Because I've dealt with some of the bigger box lead sources too, and again, you can tell they don't really care about the agents. They just want the money. They provide the leads, do what they're supposed to do, but they don't really care. Yeah, CataLeads, it's been awesome. Again, talk to the owner. You're great. I can reach out to you
Thank
anytime I
you.
need anything. The ISAs are great. You can hear that in the recordings as well. And again, yeah, if there's an issue with a lead or something like that, I can always reach out to you, you get right on that. So no, the whole experience and the masterminds that happen each month, that's great too. It's great for learning so people know how to work the leads. And yeah, it's just been great working with the company in general.
Perfect. We appreciate that. We love working with you as well. And Andrew is actually going to be speaking at one of our upcoming masterminds, so we're super excited about that. As he is an amazing agent. So if you're in Pennsylvania and you know somebody that you need to refer a client to, you can absolutely send them to Andrew. Just get in touch with me or Andrew directly, and I will share his information. So yeah, no, we love that. That's one thing too I love about CataLeads and being here is the fact that, it is a very transparent community because everybody's zip codes are exclusive. People are willing to share ideas and help each other and share, their expertise, which you don't get in a lot of real estate forums because of the competitiveness. So would you agree with that, Andrew, that
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. That's I missed that point too. That's another part I like a lot, that I'm not sharing a lead source with other agents in my market. It does feel like I have an edge because of this lead source where again, other big box ones you're competing or they're sending you the same lead to like this. I have my exclusive territory that I can work, and that's been awesome.
perfect? So I guess just the end of it, like, what would you say to somebody else that was considering another agent who was considering looking for a seller lead source? What would your advice be to them? What would you say to them? Now that you've been here for a little bit, you've got some experience and your feet in the door and on the ground and you're running, what would you say to somebody that's watching this video, potentially thinking of signing up? What advice would you have for them? And yeah, that would be great.
Well, to sign up, first of all, because it's a great lead source. And again, there's not many others where they're just focusing on sellers. Like anything else, it's not a magic pill. You're still gonna have to work the leads, and you're still gonna have to call the people. Can't just like say, oh, there's an appointment, and then text them. You have to work the leads, but if you work the leads and follow the system, you will get listings. Like these are homeowners raising their hand and saying, I want to sell my house or have interest in the future in selling my house. So if you just work it, eventually you will get a listing out of it.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And it's so true. That's the name of the game of real estate. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Andrew. I appreciate your time and you sharing all this with me. As you know, we're big on feedback, and we like to share our community with other agents that are ready to jump in and, as you said, nurture and stay in the game and are ready to build their seller pipeline. So, anything else you want to add? Anything else we missed, or anything else that comes to
No, I
mind
don't
that?
think. Again, it's just been a great experience all around. You guys have been always easy to work with. Again, actually delivering on what you say. Again, if maybe we only get, if you have a quota and we're a little under, you guys always make sure that I hit my quota of appointments that you promised.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate your time, and I know you've got to get back to work. So
Great.
have a great day.
All right. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thanks.